Hey y'all, Iric Guy here. First video with the Zeiss Loxia 2/50 f2 50mm. You can see there I pulled the strap of my case into focus. Now I'm going to pull Sean Connery, the big Maine Coon cat, into focus. Now we're going to go back to the strap, back to Sean Connery. One of the really cool things about a manual focus lens for video is just how much control you have over the focus. Look at that. Hey, Sean Connery, look over here. Hey, Sean Connery. I mean, this is just razor sharp. And if you've got a 4K display or smart TV, crank it up so you can see the detail. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. One of the cool things about a 50mm lens for actually for video or photography is that it's a lens that the focal length looks very similar to eyesight. So, in other words, if you're not really familiar with videography and or photography, when you look at this, it feels natural. So you don't feel like you got to move closer to your subject or further away if you're using a different focal length. It just feels like you're looking at it. It feels like the camera is your eyes, which is pretty neat. So just an essential focal length to have, in my opinion. Now we're gonna, and by the way, I'm just moving the camera with my body, because this is not a zoom lens. This is a prime lens, meaning that it's fixed at 50mm. Look at that. Just look at how sharp that is. And something you can't appreciate with this lens, and now I'm going to pull that into focus. See? Look at that. Something you can't appreciate with this lens unless you have it in your hands is how buttery smooth the focus feels. If you're like me and you like Sony cameras and you really wanted to up your image quality, but you were afraid that a manual focus lens would be kind of a step backwards from an autofocus lens. Well, I can tell you this one, just the build quality, first of all, having that metal type construction down to the lens hood as well, having a metal, I say metal type, I think it actually is metal, just feels really expensive and feels really nice in your hands. And the focus, super smooth. I mean, again, I'm going into focus there on the strap. Now I'm coming back to Sean Connery. Just look, if you got a 4K display, crank it up and just look at his eyes. Look at how sharp that is. So it's super easy. Actually, I like the experience better than an autofocus lens. And I love my Zeiss Batis lenses. Those are two of my other favorite lenses. Right now I've got the Batis 25mm. I've got the Batis 85mm. And the Loxia 50mm. So the Loxia 50mm that I'm using now is my only manual focus lens. But just look at that. Let's focus on his tail here. Well, his back foot's really in focus now. Now we'll go back to the strap. It's a very cool experience. And a lot of people are probably laughing at me like, dude, your terminology is kind of cheesy. Well, I just like to speak in plain English. And continuing with that trend, something that I would like to say about this manual focus lens. Watch this. See that little chair over there? Now that adjustment arm on it's in focus. Now I'm going to go back to Sean Connery's eyes. Now he's in focus, see? And I'm doing this all with the lens. The manual focus ring on the lens. And even though it's a manual focus lens, since I'm using it with the A7R2, and you can find that camera body within this video's description too. Since I'm using it with the A7R2, I'm getting all the EXIF data, which even though it's manual focus, I can see on my A7R2's display right now that I am at f2. And actually I'm using auto ISO. So even though it's a manual focus lens, I could manually choose my ISO if I wanted to, but in this scenario, I'll let the camera pick the ISO automatically. And since it is a manual focus lens, if you've ever used an autofocus lens, which that's what most people use, and you've used continuous autofocus, you've probably noticed I wouldn't call it an issue, but I would call it a nuisance called focus breathing. To where when it's filming, it's like it feels like the best way to describe it is that the image is throbbing. Sporadically it'll throb. And it just degrades the effect of the video. Whereas with manual focus, I have complete control. You know, if I need to move around and refocus, I can, but you know, once you dial in that focus, it just looks incredible. But this concludes the Loxia 50mm 4K video test. I know when I was shopping around for another lens, there weren't a lot of Loxia 50mm 4K video tests, and that's the main reason I wanted to post this first thing. And to explain my experience, my first experience filming 4K video with this manual focus lens. So I like it, and I'm really looking forward to taking it outdoors and getting different situations on video. You know, everything from beaches to wilderness. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, youtube.com/iRixGuy, and share this video and any of my videos with others. And check this out, I'm going to take it out of focus. Look at that. How cool is that? Now I'm going to go back way past focus. You can do all that cinematic stuff. Y'all have a good day. Thanks for watching. Hey y'all, eyerixguy here. I wanted to take a moment to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. I'm an independent channel, and it's viewers like you that help me to continue to grow. I appreciate your viewership, and y'all have a good day.